Hello friends, my name is Hannah. I'm a jeweler from Ukraine. Today I'll show you how I created a gothic silver pendant with coffin-shaped stone. But first, don't forget to subscribe. This pendant is part of my limited Halloween collection, which includes 10 pieces. Today I'll show you how I made this one with sodalite stone. I'm starting with a jeweler's saw to remove the sprue. The sprue is a small fragment left after casting a wax model in silver. It's important not to rush during this process. Each movement should be deliberate and light. And here's the result. Next, I secure the piece in a vise to hold it tightly and firmly. After that, I grab my favorite file to smooth out the top of the piece. Now let's polish the area where the sprue was removed, making it look like it was never there. To refine the surface further, I use a rotary tool with high-grade sandpaper bits. My goal is to completely erase all signs of the sprue and restore the casting's geometry, especially the basal seat which holds the stone. This hollowed cylinder is the seat for a 2mm stone, a tiny but elegant accent for the piece. To complement the sodalite, I choose a soft blue stone. Now I'm adjusting the geometry of the basal and removing excess material. At this stage, the basal is too high and the stone sits too deep. Using a file, I carefully refine the height to create a perfect fit. For precision, I switch to a satin burr. This step requires great focus, as it's easily to accidentally misalign the burr, which would make the stone sit crooked. But since I've done this hundreds of times, everything turns out perfectly. Now I'll move on to the coffin-shaped basal for the main stone. I grab my favorite fish-shaped file. It's my go-to tool for this kind of work. Excuse the short break for my cat. After casting, the entire piece is matte white. To bring out the silver shine, I use a brass brush attached to my rotary tool. This process requires caution, as the tiny brass bristles can fly off and hit your eyes. Wearing safety goggles is a must. You can already see the quick and impressive transformation. The piece becomes glossy and reflective, highlighting the gemstone's sparkle. I carefully polish all sides of the piece, ensuring it's spotless and radiant. Even though some bristles have scattered all over my workshop, the final glossy finish is worth it. But we're not stopping here, because we love gothic details. Next, I use a patina solution to oxidize the silver. This substance is quite strong, so I avoid touching it with bare hands and apply it with a brush. I could fully immerse the piece in the patina solution, but I prefer to work more precisely, avoiding areas like the basils. After oxidizing, I rinse the piece thoroughly to remove any residue. To create contrast and make the design pop, I use my favorite rotary tool bit. It aggressively removes excess patina, emphasizing the details while keeping the resource areas dark. With the contrast done, it's time for my favorite and the most delicate step, stone setting. I secure the piece in thermoplastic and place it in a setting clamp for stability. Using a hammer, I carefully push the basal edges over the stone, working slowly to avoid hitting the stone itself. This process is nerve-wracking because precision is crucial to ensure the stone is securely set and won't move over time. For the finished touches, I add microgranules in a mill-grain style inspired by mid-century jewelry. I don't use the traditional mill-grain roller, but instead shaped each granule manually under a microscope. It's time-consuming and leaves me with some calluses, but the result is worth it. Now I repeat the process for the smaller stone, ensuring it's perfectly set. The final step, polishing using a rubber burr. I check the piece with my fingers to ensure there are no rough edges that might catch on clothing. If I find any, I polish them away. The pendant is almost finished. I will clean it thoroughly off camera. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first video, so if you liked it, please leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.